Okay, today we're going to be looking at solving a full triangle. Second way to do it, when we're given two sides and no angles. Okay, so this is day 8. Okay, so it's given the right angle and two sides, not like last time where we're given one angle and two sides. So this is a little bit different than what we did last day. Okay, so we're going to look at an example here. So we'll draw it out. Let's say we have a triangle like this. And let's label it up here. Let's say that this is our right angle here, we know, and we are given two sides. So let's say that we're given this side here is 18, and this side here is 14. Okay, so no angle is given. So step 1 is to choose an angle and mark it. All right, let's label these ones. Let's go A, B, and C. And then we'll call this side B, this side A, and this side C, which we don't know. So it's going to be find angle A and B and side C. Okay, so we have to decide which angle we want to work with, either A or B. So we're going to choose an angle. So we're going to select angle B. And then mark the given sides. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to do that in red here. So we have to decide what each side is in the right triangle, whether it's opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse. So we're going to use this angle here. We don't know what it is, but we're going to find it. Okay, so this is our opposite side. This is our adjacent side. And this is our hypotenuse. So now we can see that we can find angle B by using these two sides. Now, opposite and adjacent, you have to look that up on your formula sheet. And that's tangent of angle B is going to equal opposite over adjacent, which is 18 over 14. So we're going to get a number there. So we take 18 divided by 14. So that gives us 1.286. Okay, and then we're going to convert that to an angle by doing inverse tan. So select the book, select it, and then here we used a trig ratio, and then we're going to do our inverse tan now. So we're going to go tan inverse of this number. Okay, and we'll go to the nearest degree equals angle B. So on your calculator, make sure it's in degrees, go shift tan or second function tan on your calculator. And once you do that, you get 52 degrees. Okay, so we know that this bottom angle is 52. Okay, so the next step then is to find angle A. So find the other angle. Okay, we got using the angles of a triangle are 180 degrees. So we go 180 degrees minus 90 for the corner angle minus 52 degrees. So we are going to get angle A that way. So in our case, we got 90 minus 52. That's 38 degrees. So now we've got all the angles of here we can mark in 38 degrees here. So the only thing left is the hypotenuse. Okay, when we're doing the hypotenuse, we can choose just about any trig function that has a hypotenuse in. So you now do our last step, finding the hypotenuse. Okay, there's a couple ways to do that. So we're going to find the hypotenuse. Okay, so we know that if we use finding the hypotenuse, you can either use the bottom angle or the top angle. So we're going to use the bottom angle. We're going to go the cosine of B equals, okay, A over H. So therefore we know that H, if we have to get H on the top, if you remember how to find the hypotenuse from a couple days ago or a week ago or so, H is going to equal A divided by the cosine of B. Okay, so we're going to plug those in. So A is 14, and the cosine of B is the cosine of 52. And that's going to give us side C, which equals our H, which we said is hypotenuse. So go ahead on your calculator, find out what the cosine of 52 is. So 52 cosine, I get, sorry, cosine 52, I get 0.616. So we're going to divide that out. 14 divided by 0.616. And that's 23 degrees to the nearest degree. Or sorry, 22, not degrees, 22.7 to the nearest unit. So this is 22.7. So that's how you do questions where you end up having to find two angles instead of two sides like the last one. Let's do one more in our examples here. Let's do one more, and then I'll give you a couple practice ones to try. So let's do the same shape here, but different angles. Okay, so different sides. So let's say this is ABC again, or let's call it something else so we don't get mixed up. Let's call it X, Y, and Z. Okay, let's say that we have, this one is 100, this one is 74, okay, and then we'll call this is little y here, this is little x here, and this one here is little z. And we want to find y and x, angle y and angle x, and side z. Okay, so again, we start with the same idea from the first one. The first one, we have to look, okay, which angle do I want, X or Y? So if we choose Y again, this is again going to be opposite and adjacent. So we can just start off with our tan. Tan Y equals, okay, opposite over adjacent, 100 divided by 74. Okay, so do our dividing again. 1.351. Okay, we're going to take our tan on our calculator, go with the second function tan of that number that we just figured out. to get our angle Y. Okay, so when I go Shift 10 on our calculator, I get 53.498, so we'll say 53 degrees. Okay, that's 53. It's about the same as the last one almost. And then we just find angle X. Okay, 180 minus 90 minus 53. So when we do that, we get 90 minus 53, which is 37 this time. Okay, and then our last step is to get that Z. Okay, so we're going to use again, last time we used cosine, so we're going to go with cosine of 53, okay, equals 100 over Z, which if we rearrange it like this one here, it's basically, we have to divide by the cosine. So it's 100 divided by this one to get this Z by itself. Remember, that's Z, not 2. So Z is actually 100 divided by the cosine of 53. Okay, so we'll do that on the calculator. Cosine of 53. When I do that on the calculator, we get 0.602. Okay, and then we divide it into 100. And that's about 166, which makes sense, as that's always the largest side. Okay, so there's a couple of examples of doing a triangle where you have two sides given rather than two angles given for the right triangle, and figuring out the other three parts. Okay, a little bit more harder to do, but not too bad. Okay, so I will stop the video there, post this up for you, and give you a couple practice ones on a sheet to try and figure out as well. Okay, good luck.